Right then, let me just get dressed and we'll start. I'm just gonna keep it simple for you tonight, like really simple, as in we'll go through some Kion in Haikadach, and then as I'm going through it, we'll go through some finer points so you can refine it yourself. I will probably post this on YouTube as well. I've not done a Kion for a long time, so we're just gonna do something really basic. We've not done, so Kion means basics, which we've not done for quite a long time now. Alright, first of all, check your Haikadach. If you're unsure of Haikadach width, going to, what I'd like you to do is, as I'm going through this with the Japanese, you just repeat it to yourself as well. So, whatever I say in Japanese, you say it back to yourself, so that you can learn some Japanese while you're doing this. So we've got Haisukadach, Haisukodach, and then Mosubadach, and then from there we've got Haikadach. Easy peasy. From here, write them out, Chudan Zuki. So 3 levels, Jodan, Chudan, Gidan. So Chudan Zuki. Ich, keep your elbows in, twisting at the end. Ni, san, shi, go, ruk, sich, hach, ku, ju. Now while you're going through this, make sure, nice and slowly, try and fire the hip. So wherever the hand is, the hikate, fire that hip forwards, let the arm come out, and then pull the hip back as you lock in. Okay, a little bit quicker. Ich, ni, san, shi, go, ruk, sich, hach, ku, ju. Okay, good. Jodan Zuki. Ich. So again, twist at the end. Ni, san, shi, go, ruk, sich, hach, ku, ju. Now again, remember first point of call for a Jodan is elbow drops. The elbow drop in, so go up in a straight line. So Jodan again, fire the hips. Ich, ni, san, shi, go, ruk, sich, hach, ku, ju. Okay, from there just relax yasame. Alright, we're going to do the Tadashi version of an Uruchi. From here. So it's just the same as this. Exactly the same as this. But we're going to put a bit of a roll in there. So here's the Tadashi version. Top hand opens. Roll through. Let the hand come on the inside. Striking towards the bridge of the nose. Hand opens. Ich. Turning the hips off. Ni. San. Shi. Go. Ruk. Sich. Hach. Ku. Ju. Now if you are doing the basic version, the Kion for this is here. Elbows in, arms parallel, and don't let the, you want to be shoulder width apart with the hands, and you fire the hip for the fist that you're using. So similar kind of thing to what we're doing now, only I prefer my version. Okay, from there, let's go quicker now. A bit more kime. Kime is a snap at the end. Aim for the bridge of the nose. Ich, ni, san, shi, go, ruk, sich, hach, ku, ju. Okay, yasame. Okay, next one is yoko oruchi. Again, two different ways you can do this. First way is very, very basic. I don't see any point in this. Let the hands rest on the stomach. Top hand strikes. Point the elbow. Strike out to the side. With a flick of the wrist at the end. Just that little flick. When you use the hips, fire the opposite hip. This way. And then from there, you want to bring it back in. Return underneath. So we're going to use our left hand, so we're going to fire the right hip. Fire. Strike. And back. Now remember, back fist comes back faster than it goes out. So if you're coming out now, it's got to come back faster. So the Tadashi version is here. Elbow high. We go prepare. We'll go back fist. Prepare. Back fist. Each. What you'll find is that this here and this, all become one movement. So the hip doesn't stop in the middle. Ich, ni, san, shi, go, rik, sich. Elbows high, don't let the elbow drop. Ach, ku, ju. Okay, let's put a bit more kime in there. So the hip on this, the hip on this, you prepare, and then fire. When we're breaking this down, we'll prepare to the front. But as we're doing this as one movement, it kind of becomes 1, 2. Okay, let's put more kime in there. Ish, ni, san, shi, go, rik, sich, ach, ku, ju. Okay, relax. Okay, next technique, shitozuki or kagizuki. You can do one or the other. Shitozuki is here, straight out, one in. Palm upwards all the way. Elbow stays bent so there's no twist at the end. Literally from there to here. If you want to turn the hip off, you can. Okay, ich, ni, san, shi, go. Kagizuki, cross. Away from the body. Some katas it's out here. But for the purpose of Kion, just have an elbow in. So not too far. Okay, Kagizuki. Ish. Or Shitozuki, your choice. Ni. And you want to be stopping fist in front of fist. There's your gauge. So not here. Here, fist in front of fist. San. Shi. Fire the hip of the arm you're using. Go. Rik. Sich. Ach. Ku. Ju. Well, let's put some more kime in there now. So this is the short punch or Kagizuki. Choice is yours. Ish. Ni. San. Shi. Go. Rik. Sich. Ach. Ku. Ju. Okay, yasame. Yasame just means relax in Japanese. Yame means to stop. So yame. Yasame is just relax. Okay, next technique. Hijiate. Rising elbow strike. Dead simple. Hand on the hip. He's going to come from here straight up to the ear. Okay? Don't go too high. Finish probably chest shoulder height. Don't go so much to the chin. Doesn't need to be there. Okay, turn around if you wish. Palm faces the ear. Ich, ni, san, shi, go. This one you do need to turn your hips up a little bit. Ruk, sich, ach, go, ju. Don't know what's going on with the lighting, it's kind of going red. Red sort of fading around here. So I don't know what's happening there. Okay, let's speed things up. Nice and strong. Don't look at your fist on the way up. You're clocking yourself in the schnoz. Okay, fire the hip that you're using. Ich, ni, san, shi, go, rik, sich, ach, ko, jo. Okay, yasame from there. Avoid with the hijiate, avoid coming out first and then over the shoulder. You want a straight line. Tuck this in and then lift the elbow. So it's kind of, if you break this down, it's kind of two moves. You kind of go 1, 2. I really shouldn't stand on the side. Okay, kata mawashi yempi. No kata, just mawashi yempi. Hand that's on the hip is going to roll around the chest. Palm's going to face outwards. Each. Notice the wrist rolls. I'll do it this way so you can see. Knee. Aim for the side of the jaw. Turning the hips off. San. Shi. Index finger knuckle. Centre line. Ich, ni, san. Make sure that palm faces outwards. Shi, go, rik. Alright, let's speed things up. Again, fire the hip you're going to use. Ich, ni, san, shi, go, rik, sich, ach, ho, jo. So mate, you should always use hips in your techniques. Some for beginners, you might wind the hips up, but the more proficient you get with your training, you just fire the hip as opposed to winding the hip up and twisting. Hips wound up already, which I'll show you in these next few techniques. Haito strike. Shape the hand. Don't panic about the fingers being together, the mind struggle to get together. You're going to be striking with either this part of the hand or this part of the hand. The polite version is the soft part of the hand. The impolite version, which I prefer, is the not so nice part of the hand. We're aiming for soft areas. So whenever you strike, you want to think goju. Goju means hard, soft. So you want to take something hard and strike somewhere soft. But for the purpose of this exercise, we're going to strike towards the temple, which again is also quite soft. So Haito strike, ridge hand. Okay, from there we're going to fold in. And as we fold in, the elbow doesn't really go anywhere. Just folds into the top of the chest. The Hikate hand comes to the small of the back. Don't allow this hand to swing all the way out. What should happen is your hand's going to drop, slight curve in the elbow, and then you're going to come out and around. Treat it like a katana. I once got told years and years and years ago by my first instructor that the ridge hand, the inside shuto and the haito, they're like a katana. And we're striking now with the, because the katana curves, we're striking now with the blunt edge of the sword. Okay, the sharp edge of the sword is this part, the outside edge. Okay, haito. Ish. Now, if you want to wind up the hips, go in the direction of the arms. Fire and lock in. Direction of the hips, same as the arms, fire and lock in. There's the basic version. If we advance this, hips don't go anywhere. Just arms move. And then we fire this hip into the strike. So we don't use the hips, then we fire the hips. We want to take away anything that's unnecessary in our training. This here is necessary at a beginner level, but at an advanced level, it's unnecessary. We've got to chop away little parts that we don't need. Okay? Okay, so from there you can either wind up or you can go to start off square. Choice is yours. Go slowly. Ich, ni, san, shi, go, ryuk, sich, ach, ku, ju. Okay, we're going to speed things up now. Ich, ni, san, shi, go, ryuk, sich, ach, ku, ju. Relax. So that's haito. Haito uchi. Next technique, yaku shuto. Pronounced yaka shuto, but spelled giyaka, as in with a G, but don't pronounce the G. Okay, hand out. Slight angle on the hand, not flat here. A lot of styles may teach this flat. Please don't do that. Strike with the wrong part of the hand. You want to be striking with, you've got a ridge here, got this little part here on the outside edge. You want to go just in, just inside is your striking point. You may see the old karate films or even things like Karate Kid and the chopping downwards. No, let me straighten this up for you so you can see. They're not chopping this way. They're chopping this way. They're not chopping this way. Let me straighten this up. They're chopping this way. So they're kind of pushing this part of the hand, not this part. Very, very minimal difference. They're pushing this part of the hand through the target. So I'm going to do outside shuto. Prepares pretty much similar to haito. I'm going to go from here, elbows high, folds in, prepare to the ear. So up here. Don't chop straight through. When you're doing this, come out into an L shape first. But notice how my hand shapes now. It's not this way, it's this way. Because that's what I want to lead with. And then as we come out from here, we don't finish there. So the arm's going to straighten on its way out. The arm straightens and reaches on its way out. Okay, thumbs on the same place, in. Okay. Shuto, gyaku shuto. Ich. Now again, if you want to, let the hips move with the arms. Knee, wind, throw. San, wind, throw. Shi, wind, throw. Or, the preferred version, ich, no hips, through. Ni, no hips, through. So you fire the hip of the arm you're using. Okay, whole thing. Ich, ni, san, shi, go, ruk. Okay, we're going to speed things up now. Faster. Ich, ni, san, shi, go, ruk, sich, ach, go, ju. So me, forgive me if my eyes are sort of all over the place. I'm just trying to check myself, but check what I'm doing to you is correct as well. Okay. Okay, final strike. Well, I've actually missed a strike. We have missed a strike. We've missed Tetsui. Shuto Zuki. Inside Shuto. This one's angled across the body. So if I've got my left arm out now, which you can see because of the badge, I'm going to be striking this part of the hand again, so not flat, angled upwards. And I'm going to be striking the right side of my head. So we're here, not here. There's no wind up with this. You can't go 1, 2. Don't look right. And you certainly can't go 1, 2. So we're going to prepare square. Each. And then the hips are going to be used. So you're going to fire the hip that you're actually using of the arm. Okay, knee. San, elbows high. Twist at the end. Shi. Go. So you don't start twisting until you get to the wrist. And then this, and these finish together. So when you get to here, everything's going to finish at the same time. Okay? Again, forgive the fingers. Okay, ich, ni, san, shi, go. Now just to elaborate on this a little bit, when you prepare this technique, watch what my elbow does. Don't come elbow out and then to the ear, okay? If anything, you want to be coming this way first. This hand then stops. As the elbow continues to rise, it's at that point that you release. Okay, so just try and avoid big wind-ups. Okay, let's speed things up. Let's do 10. Ish, ni, san, shi, go, ruk, sich, ach, go, ju. Okay, we can yasame there. Crazy. Next technique, just to give our arms a rest, or sorry, my arms a rest, before we go into ukes, we'll do some dachi, D-A-T-C-H-I, pronounced dach. Okay, Zenkutsu dach, Zenkutsu dach. Now again, if there's anyone Japanese watching this, forgive my pronunciation. It's a Yorkshire accent. So right leg back, Zenkutsu dachi, kamae. So we're going to go 2 shoulders long, 1 shoulder width wide, back foot, slight angle, front foot, pointing straight. Knee forwards, so far that you can't see your toes anymore. So you're going to find that where the knee is, you can imagine that this is my knee, this is my ankle, the knee is going to be slightly forwards of that. I'm going to slight pushing forwards. Just sit in this stance naturally. One thing to avoid with this stance is turning the hips off, exaggerating them off, or from this position, really pushing them into the stance. From this position, just relax the hips. Just sit in the stance, relax the hips. Your hips should naturally come kind of square anyway. Okay? I know for a lot of kata, they expect it to be, people expect it to be nice and square here. That's aesthetically pleasing, but the higher you go, the more you can see. So while you're working on your kion, I'm going to contradict myself now, while you're working on your kion, push the hip down. Really force it to the front. But then the more proficient you get, the more relaxed you can be with the hips. Okay, you're going to step in and change, but don't change height. Stay the same height. So stepping in, change. Come on. Changing guard as well. So notice the front foot now. Looks like it's turned in. It's not. It's just straight from the outside edge. Pushing the knee forwards. Okay, next stance. Basic rule of thumb is when you are in stance with the leg back, that hand is low and the other hand is high. That's just a basic rule. Never this. Always this. And also don't have your guard in close. Have your guard further away. So maybe when I say that is, don't be in here with your guard. Because automatically, the second you start to bring your hands in, you want to do this with the head. Keep your guard out. Confidence. Okay, next technique, kibirech. I'm going to go to the side slightly, kibirech horse stance. Right? So this stance here, 2 shoulder widths wide, outside edge of the feet straight, knees bent. Don't go too low in this stance. I see far too many people going too low. If you want to develop strength in this stance, push the knees apart and roll the hips forwards by tensing that backside. Guard up, doesn't matter which way you do it, choice is yours. We tend to find that naturally our strongest arm will be on the bottom. It'll just naturally happen that way. Next stance, shikodach. Shikodach. Feet out 45, sink. Now again, seeing too many people go too low in this stance. Too many people go too low in this stance. Top of the legs, slight angle. Knees above the ankles. Feet 45 from the inside edge, not from the outside edge. Hips forwards, guard up. Okay, from there, yasame. Okay, next stance, sanchindach. Pigeon toe stance, but also known as hourglass stance. I'll tell you why for both. Okay, so from here, dimensions. Toes of the back foot are in line with the heel of the front foot. However, you might find the more proficient you get, that you got that little bit longer. You might also go that little bit wider as well. Shoulder width from ball to the feet to ball of the feet. Shoulder width, straight down. Why is it called pigeon toe? Because people that walk like this with that front foot turned in are known as walking pigeon toed. Why is it called hourglass? Because from the hips we go into the knees and then we go out of the ankles, just like an hourglass. Okay, guard up again. Whichever leg's back, that hand's me forwards. That hand's me back. And then switch. Now, when we step forwards in this, bring the heel in, not the toes outwards. Leave this foot alone now, and then siriachi through. Now, when we're doing this, that heel moving in will help us. Watch what the body does. The body's already starting to move forwards. One thing to avoid is, watch this foot. 1, 2, 3. Avoid number 3. Once number 1's hit, you're already moving into the stance now. Sriracha through. Stay still. But like I said, to help you with your transition in that stance, I think I've done this on a video before. To help you with that transition in stance, turn the heel in, but you're also going to be pushing forwards. By turning the heel in, all you're doing is helping yourself move forwards. And then we go Sriracha. Okay, next stance. Neko Ashidachi. Neko Ashidachi. One shoulder width long, 0 width, 99.9% of the work on the back leg, shaping the front foot. Let the toes hit the floor. There should be a straight line going from the knuckle of the big toe right to the knee. Heels not in line, ball of the foot in line with the back heel. Guard up. Okay, when you step forwards, drop. It's also going to help you transition forwards and then come straight through. Now go backwards. So go back, drop the heel in, straighten the front foot up. Backwards, drop the heel in, straighten the front foot. So if we go forwards again now, we drop as we're moving forwards, drag through. Now the other way you can move forwards in this stance is with a step. 9 times out of 10 you'll move backwards, but you can do these moving forwards as well. This is a defensive stance. Kata would dictate that your Sanchindachi is always an attacking, because you're always going forward, you're always going towards the attack. Whereas Kata also dictates that Neko Ashidachi is a retreating, so it's defensive, because you'll find yourself always going backwards or going off to the side at some point. So as we move forward in this, you can, if you want to, put a step in there. 1, 2. When you go backwards, same thing. A little bit longer. Drag in and relax. I won't do Kokutsu Dachi today. I'll set the front of the day. Alright, next technique. Jodan Uke. Or Jodan Age Uke. Jodan is here. Age, A-G-E, but pronounced Age, is rising. Uke is to receive. So from here, straight across the shoulder, each knee, let the arms cross in the middle. San, shi, ho, ruk. Fire the hip you're using. Sich, ach, ko, ju. Wrist, sorry, I'll try and get it square for you. Wrist, level with the opposite side of the head. Angle on the forearm. You're blocking with the top of you're blocking with the hairy part of the arm, and you are then twisting at the end. So you're not blocking with this part, you're just helping to deflect. So let's speed things up. Ish, ni, san, shi, go, ruk, sich, ach, ko, ju. Okay, yasame again. Make sure they meet in the middle. So it's here, not here. Uchi-uke. Uchi-uke, inside hooking block. Elbow, fist distance away from the body, fist, shoulder height. From this position, come across and twist. Now you're going to meet wrist to elbow. Draw a line up, pull back. This is the beginner way. Cross, switch. The correct way is this way. Let them meet in the middle. then around. Cross, then around. Fire the hip you're using to bring it back and let it hook out. So you kind of are winding up for this. It's kind of a wind up, fire the hip, and throw the arm out. Ish, ni, san, shi, go, yuk, sich, ach, ku, ju. Okay, we're going to go faster now. So a bit more effort, a bit more kime. Ich, ni, san, shi, go, yuk, sich, ach, ku, ju. Okay, relax. Yasame. Okay, we're probably not going to get through kicks tonight, but that's okay. We'll start with kicks next week. Okay, next technique, soto uke. Outside to inside, hook block. Different ways you can do it. From here, we'll start across. We're going to use the hips on this one. Prepare. And when you prepare, don't prepare level with the body. Prepare level with the feet. So if we were to turn the hips square now and not move this arm, that's where we'd be. Which, funnily enough, from this position, there's your soto uke. So this is just, there is a use for this, but I also teach people to, if you're going to prepare this block, there's nothing wrong with coming more forwards to block in. So you can either do that what I've just done there, which is nothing with this arm, and you can prepare, you might find me preparing more forwards, and then bring the hikate arm back, or you can prepare this way. So this hand here has a use, and then straight back in a straight line. Okay, it's up to you which one you do. Ish, ni, san, shi. So just avoid going too high with this, and also avoid going too low. You want to be about elbow same height as the shoulder. So don't go too high, don't go too low. You'll gauge it yourself. Sich, ach, ku, ju. Hips are used, we prepare. No hips, then we bring this hip in. That carries the arm around. At the end, twist and flick. Twist and flick. Bit like Harry Potter, innit? Swish and flick. Okay, from this position now. Whole thing, a little bit stronger. Ish, ni, san, shi, go, rik, sich, ach, go, ju. It's me. I don't know about you, but I'm sweating. Okay, next technique, Gidan Barai. We'll probably do Gidan Barai, Gidan Uke, Chugu Uke, Kaki Uke, maybe finish with Mawashi Uke, and then we'll finish there, I think. Okay, next technique, Gidan Barai. Avoid stabbing down with this block. If anything, push across the shoulder and then keep pushing and sweep around. Now, if anybody's training in karate or any form, doesn't matter what it is, taekwondo, aikido, jiu-jitsu, aikido, judo, don't wait till the end of the class to get feedback, or 2 days later. Your instructor gives you feedback along the way. So anything they correct is your feedback to work on. And if you're not getting that from your instructor, as we've been going through tonight, there's been corrections along the way, there's been teaching along the way. That is your feedback. If you assume that your instructor's talking to you, then they probably are. If you don't think your instructor's talking to you, they probably are. Okay? So either way, always take everything. Always be on the listen out and the lookout. Particularly listen, because if you're studying line doing Kion, and you can hear somebody down here being corrected, just make sure that's not you. Alright? And if you're down at the bottom and you hear someone at the top being corrected, just make sure that's not you. So a good instructor will give constant feedback. And that's basically what we're doing now, is constant feedback as we go through our techniques. So Gidan Barai. From this position. As I used to say to my students, if you think I'm talking to you, I probably am. If you don't think I'm talking to you, I probably am. So never be so arrogant to think, they don't mean me. You know, don't take arrogance into the dojo. Don't take arrogance into your training. And your dojo can be anywhere. Right now, our dojo is my front room. Alright, if we didn't have a front room, we'd probably go to a park somewhere, like they do on Cobra Kai. Okay, Gidan Barai. Circles, sweeps. Ich, ni, san, shi, go, ruk. Notice that we're firing the hips as well. Sich, ach, ku, ju. Okay, let's speed things up a little bit. Avoid stabbing in general. Okay, from this position now. Ish, ni, san, shi, go, rik, sich, ach, ku, ju. Okay, Yasame there. So again, I think there was one out of those last 10 with my left arm, there was a stabby block. The rest of them felt sweepy, but there was one with my left arm, I think it was either 6 or 7, 5 or 6 or 7, that was more of a stab down. So again, not only are we teaching whoever's watching, but we're teaching whoever's training as well, and whoever's the teacher becomes, you know, the pupil in a way. Learn by your mistakes. Again, never be so arrogant to think that, you know, you're above everybody else, because you never are. Okay, next block, Gidan Uke. Similar to Sotuke. Drop to the side, turn the hips across. Now don't prepare square with the hips, prepare with the feet. Now what most people will do is drop and twist and then sweep across. Your goal is to have this, this, and this happen simultaneously. So it comes across this way. We're twisting as we're moving. Ich, ni, san, shi, go. Right, I'm probably just going to do 5 and 10 of each block now because we are running out of time. Okay, we're going to speed things up. Ich, ni, san, shi, go, rik, sich, ach, ku, ju. Okay, Yasame. So when I do the 5, I'll go into as much detail as I possibly can. You can always rewind and watch this again later, but take note of what's being said, not what's being done so much. Okay, Chugyuke. Chugyuke is basically Gidan Barai and Uchuke at the same time. Okay, from here, hand coming down, always comes down the inside. Ich, and it always comes down palm facing upwards. Hand coming up, always comes up on the outside. Always comes palm facing downwards. So you should be in the middle this way. Palm up, palm down. Inside, coming down, outside, coming up, and then around. Each. Hips, avoid forwards and backwards, but always circular. Now the way I do it is, whatever the UK is going to be, I'll fire that hip. So it becomes ich, ni, san, shi, go. Now avoid this. Shoulders down. Don't raise the shoulders in this technique. Okay, let's speed things up. Ich, ni, san, shi, go, rik, sich, ach, ko, ju. Okay, yasame there. 2 more, then we'll call it a day. Okay, kake yuke. Kake, hooking. Uke, to receive. Not we're going to receive a hook, but we're just going to receive. Okay? Again, 2 arms. 2 arms are used. This high toe part rests on the solar plex. Other hand on the outside. Doesn't matter how you do it. You can be here, or you can be here. Doesn't matter which. Main point to this is that when you're doing this block, that you roll under, you push across. Most people will just block from there. Please don't do that. From this position, same as uchi-uke. 1. There's the block. 2. The other thing with this is when you're doing this, don't block in too close or receive too close with this. From this position, you've already got the angle. That's the angle that this blocking arm needs to come out on. Angle's still there, look. Use it. Okay, nice and slowly. Ich, ni, san, shi, go. Now what some places may teach you is that it becomes 1, 2, 3. It's actually 1, 2. And that 1 rolls into 2. So there's no stopping point with that. So you don't actually stop at the end. It should move fluid. Moves fluid. Okay? What was I going to say with that? One thing that I forgot to tell you with all the arm techniques, every single arm technique, focus on the hikate, the returning hand, wherever that returning hand may be. Put more effort into that than you do the other hand. Okay? It's the old push-pull theory. Okay, if you were to take a pole, for example, and tie your belt around it, and from this position just push, no power. But if you put all the effort into this, that's going to hurt as well. Okay, so more effort into the pull, which will generate power into the push. So we're going to do kake UK now, a little bit slower. Okay. Ich, ni, san, shi, go. Okay, we're going to speed things up now. Hip, prepare, fire, in. Ich, ni, san, shi, go, rik, sich, ach, ku, ju. Okay, yasame. Okay, final technique. Mawashi uke. Mawashi uke. Two ways, and I'll show you both. I'm going to start here. I'm going to pass face and groin twice. We're always going to fold to the outside. We're never going to fold to the inside first. So we're going to come around, pass the face and groin, palm at the face, back of the hand at the groin. And then from this position, hand coming down on the inside, palm up, hand coming up on the outside, palm down. Face and groin again, back of the hands. And then pull in and push. So we're going to come around again, fold to the outside. Face and groin once, down on the inside. Face and groin twice, and push. Okay? Now again, there's no stopping point for this. So it doesn't, when you speed this up, it doesn't become, you can do that from a kata aesthetically pleasing point of view. From a kata aesthetically pleasing point of view, just to add some drama to the kata, but this technique doesn't have a stopping point. It should continue. Should be no stopping. So that's version 1. Version 2, which is the version I prefer. Instead of coming to here, you're going to come to here. All you're doing is missing out this part. And then continue face and groin, push. So here first, face and groin, push. Alright, let's speed this up. In fact, let's go slowly. Do whichever version you wish. Ich, ni, san, shi, go. Alright, speed this up. Let your hips work in the same way as Chukyuke does. So when we're doing this, we're going to go square and then fire this around. Okay. So how do I start now? That's start this way. Alright, from there. Ich, ni, san, shi, go, rik, sich, ach, ku, ju. Same, relax. With this block, just to finish off, where the hands are with the body, you come around, doesn't matter which version you're doing, you come around away from the body, first half of the circle, still away from the body, second half of the circle. When you bring it to the hip and shoulder, that all happens, so you don't come to here, then here, then here. That all happens on that third half of the circle. So if you watch where the hands go, so we're away, 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 third half, which is now, pull in and continue the twist, and then execute the push. Okay? Alright, but remember that training with a television and an app or on Zoom should never take away from dojo training. I'll try to reiterate that as much as I possibly can. Should never take away from dojo training. It should always be try and get as much in person as you possibly can. Alright? I am open to Zoom classes and I am open to online training with people individually, but I prefer it in a dojo because then you can actually practice what's being done. Alright, again, Tadashi is 10% how, 90% why. And the 90% why in Tadashi far outweighs the how. Okay? Because anybody can do the how. It's the why that doesn't get taught a lot. Alright, I'm going to love you and leave you. I'll see you next Wednesday at 7 o'clock. This will be uploaded, Lockdown 3, edition live in the living room number 2. Alright, I will end this video now. Finish. Sayonara.